British Metropolitan Police have, for the second time this year and third time total, declined to prosecute Prince Andrew for rape and sexual assault following allegations from Virginia Giuffre, one of Jeffrey Epstein's most famed accusers. The Met Police opened the case earlier this year after Giuffre filed a lawsuit in the U.S. against Prince Andrew.
Even in death, Epstein is still placing his thumb on the proverbial scale. His estate recently gave the Duke of York's legal team permission to view a confidential 2009 settlement with Giuffre. This is a major win for the prince, who argues that Giuffre's lawsuit violates the terms of that settlement and is therefore inadmissible. Though Epstein's estate had previously given their thumbs up, final approval from the case's presiding judge wasn't given until last week. That judge, by the way, is Loretta Preska, who just sentenced Steve Donziger to 6 months in prison for criminal contempt, as we discussed on the show very recently. So this is, I mean, obviously, any effort to hold a member of the British royal family accountable for an alleged crime was going to be virtually impossible. I think, does anyone believe that's something that could theoretically be done?
I mean, Randy Andy is so on the outs within the royal family.
You think they would toss him overboard? They would have him.
Yeah, sometimes to save the body, they sever a limb or a pinky, and if he's,
So that's what he was doing when he stepped back and said, I'm just out of the public eye. Please don't. Yeah. You don't have to get rid of me. I'm done. I'm out.
Right. You never want to overestimate your assets. You never want to overestimate how valuable you are to a system. And that is a mistake that a lot of people end up making. They think, well, I am part of this system, and this system is all powerful. Therefore, I am all powerful, and I will be able to get away with this. No. Oftentimes, the system, in order to maintain its power, finds a bad apple and tosses it out. And so if you get seen to be as enough of a bad apple, distinct enough from the system as a whole, that you can be cleaved off and said to be, well, there's nothing wrong with our system of global elites. They're not all, it's not one giant pedophile ring. We just have this one bad actor. Right. And you push him aside, and then he suffers the consequences. The public then gets gratified by seeing justice done, and everything can go on as it was. So I think that's the tension in the game that Prince Andrew is trying to play here. He wants to maintain his connection with elite society enough so that he cannot be cleaved off and said to be something different, different in kind from the rest of it. Because if he's considered enough to be the same as the system, then you can't indict, you can't punish him because you're indicting the entire system.
And look, it could be the case, like, everybody deserves due process. If there isn't enough evidence to move forward, then so be it, right? I'm a civil libertarian. People shouldn't be convicted on mere accusation. They shouldn't be thrown in prison unless there's more than a clear and convincing standard that they did something wrong. So I don't want to go down that direction, but obviously it is the case that Epstein was very likely guilty, right? Like known to be. I mean, is eluded justice, but we know was guilty. And the kind of you hear these conspiracy theories, right? Oh, there's a cabal of pedophiles among the elite, the Hollywood elite, the political elite, and that sounds like a right-wing kind of nonsense thing. It turned out to be true.
Oh, true.
In this case, it turned out to be completely true.
Yes. And what Prince Andrew has so far succeeded in doing is avoiding that day in court that you're talking about. Like, everybody's entitled to their due process, except he's not even getting to that. He's stopping short of getting it. He's using all, for decades, the system was set up in such a way that the victims were unable to get that due process kicked off. The
best they were going to get is some kind of settlement. So they make these settlements, and now it's not. That's all. You were not going to get justice. Right. So they all took those settlements because that's the best you were going to get.
Right. And now they're saying you can't get justice because you took this settlement that you only took because you couldn't get justice.
Exactly.
So very, very clever.
Yeah.
This system works.
It's a great system. Great system.
We'll have more Rising right after this.